if you're a cartoon reviewer, it basically comes with the turf that you're going to talk about Teen Titans Go. Hell, I've talked about it twice already, once positively and once negatively. And for the most part, I felt like that's enough. First off, I'm not a fan of the show. I know that online that doesn't sound like an unpopular opinion, but the thing is, I get why people do like this show. I mean, say what you want about it, there's a reason Cartoon Network can play Teen Titans Go damn near every single minute of the week, and it can get a movie with $7 million worth of funding being put into it. It's because people actually do watch it and enjoy it. Otherwise, this would just be a big money waster. And while I'm not a fan of it myself, it's not because it's not like the original or because it's too immature. It's because its brand of humor just doesn't appeal to me. Now, I can see how it would appeal to some people, and I'm not judging anyone who it does appeal to. It literally just means you have a different sense of humor than me. And believe it or not, I have come across other episodes I do genuinely enjoy, but I think I enjoy them for all the wrong reasons. One of which being a farce. Yeah, believe it or not, that episode's a guilty pleasure of mine, because it ends with the Titans getting their heads chopped off. I mean, come on, that's hilarious. Also, Tara Strong's New York accent makes me laugh pretty hard too.
Yeah, my grandfather was a mechanic, my two uncles were mechanics, and my father was a mechanic before he became an interdimensional demon.
Yeah, that was awesome. But I don't feel comfortable giving a show I don't genuinely enjoy multiple negative reviews, because I feel like that's not giving it a fair shot. I can do multiple negative reviews on SpongeBob or Family Guy, because, believe it or not, I do like those shows. I've been a fan of those shows for years. So, I feel more comfortable explaining where they went wrong. But, I am gonna take a look at this episode today. Oh boy. Let's just call it by its shorter name, The Night Begins to Shine Special. This is basically a continuation of 40%, 40%, 20%, my no contest favorite episode of this show. Which makes me feel more comfortable about giving it a review. And it's something many people kept telling me about since it was announced. And even after it aired, a lot of people kept telling me how good it was. So, I guess it's time to potentially put my Teen Titan Go reviews to bed. This is the Night Begins to Shine special review. So the special is broken down into 4 chapters, all of which are named after lyrics from the Night Begins to Shine song from 40%, 40%, 20%. So to start off, we have Chapter 1, I Saw You Dance. Now, this starts in a kind of typical Teen Titans Go way. They're complaining. This time about being bored. In fact, they call it having the blahs, which is a callback to a scene from 40%, 40%, 20%.
What are you guys doing?
The blah.
Yep, pretty much.
And honestly, you should get used to those. There's quite a few callbacks to that episode in just this first scene alone. So Beast Boy suggests having a dance party, at which point Cyborg comes in, and he makes the exact same joke 3 times in a row.
Did someone say dance party? That's why I said, did somebody say dance party? I hear you, girl. That's why I said, did somebody say dance party?
They already told you Beast Boy said it!
And that's one big reason I'm not a fan of this show. I cannot stand this level of repetition. It's just so lazy. And so many of their episodes do this. And before you say, well, it's just for kids, it doesn't have to be clever all the time. I'm sure if this show was just meant for kids, they wouldn't end an episode with the main characters getting their heads chopped off. That's adult humor if ever I've seen it. And on top of that, also saying it's for kids sounds like you're saying the episode doesn't need to be well written, despite many kid shows, including Cartoon Network shows, putting a lot of effort into their writing. Anyway, the Titans eventually get Cyborg to play the song by, again, calling back to the ending of 40%, 40%, 20%. And they end up in that awesome dimension that the song transported them to in that episode. Apparently, though, it's a real dimension. Huh, I always thought it was just how their minds perceived the song, but hey, after what Cyborg was doing in this dimension when he went to go save them, I'm not complaining about 4 straight episodes taking place here. And I gotta say, it's so refreshing seeing this animation again. I don't care if it's not the greatest in the world, it's such a welcome change of pace for me, and it actually sucks me into this world, so I gotta give it a lot of props for that. And I also like that the Titans getting more involved with this world instead of just being casual observers this time around.
Why don't we look like this all the time?
Because it's too rad, Robin. Too rad.
What the hell? Did you just make a funny jab at the critics of your show? Well played. But it turns out this world is not exactly safe either, because something shows up to threaten the Titans.
And for that reason, you will give the song to me.
Oh, so this is what Mushu's real size looks like. So the dragon claims the song belongs to him and that Cyborg needs to give it to him. Cyborg, of course, refuses, and a fight breaks out before the dragon does this.
Cyborg!
Okay, why didn't you just do that from the start? It would have saved you so much trouble. I guess this episode needed to pad the time out a bit with the fight sequence, but credit where it's due, the fight scene was somewhat cool, so I guess I'll give it a pass. So the dragon ends up teleporting the other Titans back home, and Beast Boy tries singing the song to reopen the portal, but it fails miserably.
When I look at you, I see the story in your eyes. The night begins to shine. The night begins to shine.
Now see, this is a good example of what I mean when I say the show's humor just isn't my cup of tea. This is clearly supposed to be as cringy as possible, which I'm sure a lot of people would find hilarious just because it's making it so obvious what its intent is. But for me it's just, well, cringy. I'm not laughing with it or at it, I'm just hoping it stops whenever it comes on. The Titans think the portal is an opening because they're terrible singers, which could very well be the case. So Robin comes up with what's actually a pretty smart idea.
We might not be able to recreate the magic, but I bet if we turn to some of the biggest artists in music today, they could help us.
So you know what this means? That's right, celebrity cameos! And like Robin said, from some of the biggest artists in music today. Well, damn, I must say, I'm impressed they were able to get people like that. So, who's first on the list? Bruno Mars? Maybe Drake? Oh, wait, I know, Ed Sheeran.
La la la.
CeeLo Green? Okay, well, I'm honestly not too surprised to see CeeLo cameoing for a show like this. Things clearly haven't been easy for this guy since Fuck You. Oh, I'm sorry, Forget You, whatever. But really, the biggest artist in music today and you land on CeeLo Green? Is that itself supposed to be a joke because the guy hasn't been relevant since he left The Voice? If so, that's a pretty messed up reason to cameo the poor guy. So, as you'd expect, the Titans get very fanatic around CeeLo, which actually could be pretty funny. But instead, the humor around it is just bad.
Oh, may I call you the sea high? Or how high the sea? Or the high sea that you hit, which is not low at all?
Starfire, you're really lucky you're adorable.
I know this sounds crazy. Get it?
I know that's a reference to Gnarls Barkley's Crazy, but the way she delivered it, it felt more like a reference to Pharrell Williams' Happy.
I know this sounds crazy.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say.
Anyway, what else are you gonna do with this cameo? I mean, you got CeeLo Green. Despite my jokes from earlier, that's actually a pretty interesting cameo. And CeeLo is a pretty funny guy, so this cameo actually has a lot of potential behind it. So, what are you gonna do with him?
Who let you back here? Who let you back here? Oh, yeah, all right. Who let you back here?
Is that it? Is that all he's gonna be here for, to say that one line? Well, now this seems a little less impressive. Well, alright, to be fair, this is only chapter 1. I assume he's gonna get more screen time as we get further into the chapters. Anyway, who's the next celebrity cameo?
All right, Fallout Boy. Ready when you are.
Oh, the fuck? No, you didn't! How the hell did you get Fallout Boy? Alright, well, damn, credit where it's due, this is actually a pretty awesome cameo. But, as awesome as it is, once again, it still comes off as a wasted cameo. Hell, they even used CeeLo's joke again.
Who let you back?
You just saw how they got in, Joe Troman. They broke through the wall. No one let them in. Hell, that joke was put to even worse use here, because here it doesn't even make sense. Well, in all fairness, they do get some good humor out of Fall Out Boy's cameo, specifically from Pete Wentz, but it's again pretty specific comedy. It's basically all of them refusing to play the song except for Wentz, who's kind of like the Ringo Starr from Family Guy of the bands.
I knew it! I told you magic songs were real!
Pete's always talking about magic songs.
Don't encourage him.
Hey guys, I wrote a song.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, good, Ringo.
Fantastic. I'm gonna put it right here. Right on the refrigerator.
Oh, right.
While I admit it is stupid, it does also manage to make me laugh, but that's because I just love Pete Wentz's deliveries, and I like that he's portrayed as the whiny child of the group. And honestly, stupid or not, it did do its job for me, so I gotta give it credit for that.
Why am I the only one that ever wants to play a magic song and turn into a giant robot?
Ha!
The episode then cuts back to Cyborg running away from the dragon. I got nothing to say, I just wanted to rock out to this for a bit. God, I love that song. Holy hell! Well, damn, that's a dark ending. Anyway, that was Chapter 1, I Saw You Dance. And yeah, let's just call it what it actually was. Chapter 1, Callbacks and Cameos. I guess it's not the worst Teen Titans Go episode I've ever seen. In fact, I'd say it's actually worth the watch. But after all the build-up I got for this episode, I gotta say, this was kinda disappointing. It just feels like a lot of its potential was wasted. The cameos are lazy at best, the humor is, well, typical Teen Titans Go humor, though maybe a bit better than most. And there's just so much here that feels like filler. But to be fair, all of this might end up adding up in the next 3 chapters, so I won't fully write it off just yet. Now let's see if Chapter 2, The Story in Your Eyes, can make up for what Chapter 1 let down. The episode starts with the Titans returning all dejected that the celebrity cameos didn't help them get Cyborg back. And Beast Boy goes into a state of depression because he misses Cyborg, and the other Titans try to perk him up.
Meatball party! Who wants meatballs?
Not doing it for me, Mama.
Okay, well, again, while kinda stupid, I admit I do find it nice that there's some indication that these guys genuinely care about one of their members. Beast Boy decides to try and find himself, and this results in what is easily the most pointless joke so far.
Oh, there I am. Hi. Hello there, pretty boy. You're so cute, huh?
Joy, you have found yourself. Does this mean you are doing the staying?
No, I still got to find myself in a not a reflection in the window kind of way.
You didn't even need that! The mirror thing is predictable and stupid as is, but you could have very easily written that as, I need to find myself. Oh, there I am, looking good. Okay, now I gotta find myself for real. You don't need to stretch this joke out longer than it needs to be stretched. The Cyborg explores the dragon's belly and gets attacked by what I assume is a dragon virus. Well, I gotta admit, this show is making me use my imagination a bit. And he uses the song to phase through the dragon. Now who the hell do you think you are, Cyborg? Barry Allen? This results in a short fight sequence with the dragon, and when Cyborg starts naming the creators of the song, the dragon shoots Cyborg off a cliff.
I will remember you. Will you remember me?
Okay, that's awesome. But sadly, like Raven said earlier,
Because it's too rad, Robin. Too rad.
and because it's too rad, the episode decides to get rid of the bird. Damn you. Well, the bird ends up actually appearing in the real world as a pigeon. Good God, you really don't want radness in your episodes, do you? And for the record, I'm actually really shocked that Beast Boy can drive, and in a straight line no less. I figured they'd make him drive like SpongeBob during a boating test, but I guess they made Robin the one who can't drive. Well, the bird crashes on Beast Boy's window, causing Beast Boy to crash. Because that's not risky. That ain't gonna potentially injure Beast Boy and make you coming out here all for naught. Is the bird stupid in this universe? Is this universe like how the Fairly Odd Parents described the Simpsons universe?
It's his channel. It makes all the adults even stupider.
Actually, that would make a lot of sense if that was the case. That would explain why Cyborg isn't a useless, selfish idiot in that universe, but he is in this universe. Holy shit, I think this episode just came up with a deep, clever joke for this show, and I don't even think it was intentional. Well, because Beast Boy doesn't know where he is, yeah, clever callback to the joke from 2 minutes ago, the other Titans can't help him. But luckily a tow truck driver finds him and offers him a lift, and his name is Billy. Wait, Billy? Hold on, what were the names of the people who wrote that song again?
It was 40% written by Carl Burnett, 40% by Franklin Enia, and a sweet, sweet 20% by William J. Reagan.
Let me guess, Billy is William, aka R from B.E.R, aka the 20%.
The eyes, man. When I look at you, I see the story in your eyes.
Yes, he is. The episode cuts back to Cyborg and the Dragon, and the Dragon starts telling Cyborg the backstory to this universe. Oh my god, look at that animation!
3 astral beings, born from the collision of 1,000 planets and imbued with the power of stardust. B.E.R.
Oh, wow, this is amazing. This might be some of the best animation I've seen in a Western animation. In fact, it's so good, I feel kinda gypped that the dragon looks like this when the animation of him in the past is 100 times better. And don't say they couldn't afford to keep the universe this way. They got CeeLo Green and Fallout Boy. They had the money! Also, another thing I want to comment on is that they're building this song up as basically one of the greatest ever, which, yeah, Cyborg did in 40%, 20%, but no, they're building it up even grander in this episode. Apparently, this song's off-the-scale radicalness was so strong that it defeated this dragon, who was apparently so powerful that no one could even scratch him. So, yeah, see what I mean? This song is that powerful and that important to this universe. And the amazing thing is, I would expect this show to make a song that's very, well, terrible. Like the rest of its terrible but self-aware style of humor. But no, this song is so catchy and so easy to listen to that I buy it would be an important one to this world. In fact, watching them build it up makes me even happier that they didn't make a shitty song that sounded like Beast Boy did in Chapter 1, just for more cringy, self-aware comedy. I actually give them more props for this song than I did when I saw 40%, 20%. And I would say that's a pretty big compliment to pay them.
And then, like that, B.E.R. disappeared as quickly as they had come.
So back in the other universe, the Pigeon starts knocking stuff down to make Beast Boy realize that Billy is one of the members of B.E.R. And after some more stupid jokes, it actually works. But Billy reveals that he took an oath to never play The Night Begins to Shine again. But after very minimal convincing from Beast Boy, Billy decides to break his oath, and that's where the episode ends. Well, I gotta say, Chapter 2 is a lot better than Chapter 1 in my opinion. Yeah, it's got stupid jokes and dumb moments, but it's kind of foolish at this point to go into an episode of this show not expecting that. And unlike Chapter 1, there weren't any cringy moments or dumb, useless cameos. This one felt, in my opinion, the closest to 40%, 20%. Heck, I'd say it was almost as good. In fact, this is something I can see myself rewatching in the near future, just to watch this awesome animation and hear this really cool backstory for this universe again. But, damn, this video is really going on for a while, huh? I'm barely even halfway done and the video is already 20 minutes long. Well, looks like I'm gonna have to break this down into 2 parts. So, next video I'll review chapters 3 and 4, and give my overall view of the special as a whole. Anyway, Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next review. Now end this video on a high note, you goddamn catchy song.